General Watson, welcome. Thank you for joining me today. Project Tripoli, I read, is a live virtual constructive training program. Tell me what you're gaining from that over what you did before in the Marine Corps.
Thanks. I appreciate the question, Francis. Project Tripoli is really what I call our main effort within Training and Education Command. And I think if you start with the premise that when looking at the systems and the capabilities that we are currently investing in as part of Marine Corps modernization, then I think it's fair to say that our existing range and training area infrastructure is never going to be sufficient to allow us to practice the way we're going to fight with all of the combined arms, kinetic and non-kinetic capabilities that we've got. So if we don't complement our live force range and training area infrastructure with a virtual and constructive component, then we're never really going to be able to train as we intend to fight when the next fight comes.
Mm-hmm. How much of what you're doing virtually in the virtual training component is available to you because of advances in technology, and how much of it is available to you due to advances in the way culturally you and the Marine Corps look at the way that you want to train Marines?
It's a great question, and I think it's both and. I mean, certainly technology in terms of, virtual reality and augmented reality simulators and just technological advances in particular like vehicle systems, which complement the increasing sophistication of the actual vehicles that we're purchasing, certainly enable us to invest in higher quality and greater fidelity of simulations. But culturally, the Marine Corps has always been very focused on live fire training in particular, and being the best in the world at that. So there's an element, of course, with simulations in which you've sort of got to come off of that and acknowledge that, particularly if you intend to do things more efficiently and you want to incorporate a thinking enemy into the adversary force, then the virtual space has lots of opportunity.
I think you touched on this question a moment ago in your answer to the last one, but how much of the content of what is included in Tripoli is different because of the modernization efforts, and how much of it is just modernizing what you've been training in the past?
Well, I think there's great, opportunity in terms of our legacy systems to train more efficiently and to increase access to high demand, low density capabilities, or capabilities that we're in the process of fielding but don't have in the fleet at scale for Marines to use. But the more modernized systems that are consistent with the Commandant's investment priorities under force design are really that much harder to train to in a live force environment, either because they involve elements of non-kinetic capabilities, cyberspace, the electromagnetic spectrum, or just the range of the systems like our Rogue Nemesis naval strike missile system just far exceed that which we can employ in our existing range and training areas.
Second project I want to ask you about is Project Trident, naval integration. Obviously, the Navy and Marine Corps have been integrated tightly for a long, long time. What's different about this project, and how is that integration evolving in your view?
So I think conceptually we've been tightly integrated, but in practice, in terms of how do we build the maritime fires professionals at echelon that really understand the doctrine, the tactics, techniques, procedures, the systems integration that's required to operationalize a maritime kill chain, then I think we've been less tightly coupled. And so Training and Education Command, for me, our lane obviously is the training and education. It's the progression of schools that we use to educate those professionals, and also sort of the common vernacular and the doctrine that we use to align and measure ourselves against. I think that the Marine Corps under Project Trident, when we initiated this a year or two ago, was really leading in this space. Recently, though, the Naval Board, led by the CNO and the Commandant, sort of pinned the rose on Commander Pacific Fleet and Deputy Marine Forces Pacific as what they call the Maritime Fires Executive Agent for the Naval Service, and really empowered them to take a look at cross.mil.pf at how we build these maritime fires professionals, how we do the systems integration, what investment decisions we make. And so while I would say that my organization was sort of leading in this space early, we're now sort of fallen back into a kind of a play your position under the broader .mil.pf associated with maritime fires.
And your position in that role of building those professionals
is training, education, and doctrine.
And has that changed as a result of this pivot, the way you described it?
I think it's actually empowered us. It helps to put those things in context because we don't make the decisions on manpower, for instance, and on systems integration, which are essential components, of course, of how we build this ecosystem and align our maritime services against a common objective. So I think putting us, empowering Commander Pac Fleet and Marine Forces Pacific has now given us sort of a vector to the Title 10 man, train, and equip service chiefs that can then direct action based on our recommendations.